You're granted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to make a disclaimer that the people who have accused me today, may it be known, is not the President of Kenya. Neither is it any senator seated here, including the mover of this motion. I have the highest respect for institutions, I have the highest respect for the President, and I have the highest respect for my colleagues, all of them. The Speaker, today, I stand here paraded before the whole nation, accused of misdeeds whose particulars have never been brought to my attention until now, despite me consistently asking for them. There can only be two reasons for this. The first is that the trumped-up charges against me are baseless, and that my case is a fait accompli, and therefore I must be removed from office by all means whatsoever, even by unconstitutional means. Mr. Speaker, how I wish this sitting, with the haste in which it has been convened, was meant to discuss the plight of the millions of our people across the country who are living in dire need and abject poverty. I bow in shame to note that we are here today for such an elitist triviality, powered by petty, divisive, and vindictive politics, as the country hurts from the lethal combination of a near-collapsed economy, a ravaging pandemic, floods, and a rare invasion of desert locusts, not seen in this country for decades. I am ashamed that we are here discussing party politics at a time when our motherland desperately needs the solidarity of every single Kenyan, even the weakest, at a time when our country needs reconciliation and not hate and pettiness. Mr. Speaker, it does not bother me at all that the die is cast against me. What bothers me is that the constitution of our country is once more being indecently assaulted in full glare. A handful of raw fellow citizens who have made it their orgy of pleasure to humiliate freedom and truth with reckless abandon, with little patience for procedural dictates of our constitution, which would have given our country some semblance of honor, even fake, cosmetic, or hypocritical honor. Mr. Speaker, the right to be heard and to be tried fairly in a judicial, quasi-judicial, or even administrative process of whatever nature, where a decision is being made, would help to clothe even a horribly evil process, such as this one, with some form of legitimacy. Give a man a chance to defend himself, even if the defense is regarded inconsequential and an outcome has been predetermined. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, my faith in God, instilled in me early in life, has helped me to navigate even the deadliest of the storms of life with minimum injury or even none. Also, my more than 1 decade in academia helped me build moral resilience adequate to withstand the temptation of living an unprincipled life and to resist the urge to pursue vanity. It taught me never to sell my beliefs for expediency. Mr. Speaker, sir, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, whom I am accused today of having disrespected, should know that I have always and will forever respect him. I hold him in the highest esteem and veneration as the leader of our country and the symbol of the unity of our nation. I have faith in him as the leader of our party and will support him loyally to the end of his administration as a matter of duty and also a matter of choice. I wish him all the best, him and his administration, for the remainder of his term. I believe beyond peradventure that the president of our country is not linked in any way whatsoever to this or with this injustice. Mr. Speaker, in my previous responsibility as Senate Majority Leader, I did my best to push government business in this House and to defend the President and his administration whenever they came under political attack. Subsequently, the Jubilee Party, with full blessings of President Kenyatta, nominated me to run for the post of Deputy Speaker of this House, to which I was elected, and I'm grateful. To assist you, Mr. Speaker, as your deputy, in the non-partisan role of being an impartial umpire on disputes brought before this House. In that role, Mr. Speaker, I have tried my best not only to be fair, but also to appear to be fair. If I have made any errors, to err is human. And the reason I've been this way is because of the need to ensure that we do not compromise the dignity and independence of Parliament as an arm of government. Outside this chamber, I have carefully calibrated my political utterances to give full respect and dignity to the constitutional office that I've been holding as an impartial umpire at least until the end of this sitting. Neither in my previous role as Majority Leader or in my current role as Deputy Speaker that ends today have I ever disrespected the leader of my party. Mr. Speaker, I have endeavored to respect my colleague senators, and this respect has been sincere and deep from my heart, despite the unique challenges of moderating parliamentary debates. Because sometimes you have to rule a senator out of order and something doesn't look tidy. But despite that, I have tried my best to restrain myself and to respect each and every senator and to give each member of this House an opportunity to address the nation and address the people who have sent us to this House. Mr. Speaker, in recent times, I have somewhat restrained myself as I observe the worrying political developments that threaten to polarize our country to unprecedented levels. My accusers, and I've already said my accusers is not the head of state, it's not any senator, may have mistaken this restraint for weakness. They thought I had no views to air publicly, or that fear had trumped or triumphed over me. They wrongly diagonized that I could be manipulated, cajoled, or even threatened to join them in what, in my view, is a treasonable project of destroying our beloved country. I respect their choice to be petty, but they also to know that humility is not cowardice. Neither is silence a sign of ignorance. Mr. Speaker, I have lived long enough to witness even darker moments when faith in our democracy and values have been severely tested. Nevertheless, I remain optimistic of better days ahead for our nation. However dark it gets, the sun of freedom and justice shall soon shine again over Kenya. Mr. Speaker, in my struggles with the powers of darkness, especially during the past 1 week, I rejoice in my tribulations. Harboring hate against them would work in their favor. Therefore, I freely forgive those who have crucified me. If I don't forgive them, they will have succeeded in pulling me down into their dirty underground moral dungeon from where they cook their hopeless schemes. I am reminded of the wisdom of Martin Luther King Jr., never to succumb to the temptation of bitterness. And therefore, as a sign of strength, I forgive them without conditions. Mr. Speaker, however, let them know, wherever they are, that victory over darkness comes to the victims. Mr. Speaker, let them know, wherever they are, that victory over darkness comes to the victors in installments. But punishment for perpetuating the works of darkness is meted out on the conspirators in one lump sum. Those who scheme and connive to carry out wickedness should know that a lie cannot last long. As Mahatma Gandhi stated, I shall not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet, and nobody can hurt me without my permission. I will forever be grateful to the tremendous outpouring of support that I have received from family, friends, fellow elected leaders, colleagues, senators from both sides of the House, staff, my constituents from Tharaka Nithi County, and thousands of Kenyans of goodwill from across our beloved country. It took darkness for me, Mr. Speaker, to see the galaxy of stars strewn all over our nation who detest and abhor injustice. This has given me great hope that our nation shall rise again. Indeed, there is hope for Kenya. Those who think that I have made a mistake must understand that freedom includes the freedom to make mistakes. Today, Mr. Speaker, we must decide whether we will live in fear or we will live in freedom. I thank you. God bless Kenya. God bless the Senate.